Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am your caster, Bahamut. On the left-hand side, we've got Zul'jin Distillery, and on the right is going to be FF and the Pancakes. Stands for French fries and the pancakes. Excuse me. Thank you all for joining me. I chugged water during that little sting intro, and I'm like, I won't have to burp at all. But of course. But we did have some map bans that took place before all this happened, and I don't have my little map ban tool, so I have to bribe Weenus very soon to make me a new one. Maybe I'll do that after stream tonight. Maybe I'll bribe him and just mail him a beer. Either way, we did have some map bans that took place. Let's go through those really quickly. First, the home team is Zul'jin Distillery. They went ahead and had the coin flip. They lost it, actually, meaning that the choice went over to FF and the Pancakes. They went for first pick, meaning the map priority goes to the opposing team. Battlefield and Sky Temple were banned out by Zul'jin Distillery, and FF and the Pancakes got rid of Alterac Pass and Volskaya Foundry. Gem of Spider Queen will be our first map chosen by Zul'jin Distillery, as we just were there, so we kind of get to see exactly what it was just like. Not what it was just like, but we get to see another Division D East team playing on the exact same map we just saw, so it'll be nice to see how two different teams play the same map. ETC Orphea will be removed on the right-hand side, and Zeratul and Diablo will not be making this game, but Joanna on the right-hand side. I said in the last game, and I'll say it again here, very strong in the rotations, great for wave, grouping the wave together, and then you can have a great mage to clear that out. I like the NGS intro thing. Thank you so much, Robin. It was someone in NGS made it. Here, let me look up really quickly to give them proper credit, because they gave it to everyone for free. This is Kovoy. This is Kovoy, I think, made it. So shout out to them, because they made it. I apologize if I murdered their name, which I probably did. So sorry about that in advance, but I didn't see it, but it was one I'm thinking of as Yes, It's Near, the talented people created, put together. It's very edgy, very metal, kind of like ESPN vibes. Thanks to Kovi. With a dash of UFC. I really like it. I really, really like it. I'm so glad that NGS made something NGS made something like that. Now I just need to convince them to do a small one so we can have something between draft and in-game. But they already made it for free, so I don't want to ask them to do other stuff. Let's actually break into this draft a little bit further and talk about this, as we do have a game unfolding in front of us. This is the Nubarak and Kael'thas on the left-hand side. Really good initiation, really good blow-up with that. Joanna, Leoric, and Deckard on the right, so they're not showing too much of their draft. They've got their solo lane, they've got their main support, and they've got their tank. Not showing any of their wave clear or what kind of synergies they're going with wave clear and with any sort of damage range or melee. Gul'dan was removed because that is great wave clear, and Joanna groups them very well together. We could be still seeing a Jaina here. She's extremely powerful with her poke, her lockdown potential as she does progress in that 16 talent here if she does go into the Numbing Blast. Yes, Numbing Blast is what roots people. No, Chilling Touch. Oh god, no, I'm forgetting. Because Northern Exposure reduces armor. I think it's Numbing Blast, which is roots people for 1 second. But then you also have the Ring of Frost as well, which is a great way of locking people down, and the slows from the Ice Lance, the Cone of Cold, the Blizzard. Those are all great ways of just catching up to people, as well as Deckard Cain with the Haragic Cube. So I like that over on the right-hand side if it's possible. Spoilers, it's coming. Nice. Thank you. I don't have to bug anyone, but a Rexar is going to be making it into this game. Thank you? Yes. The Bear Misha is going to be dominating the solo lane against the Leoric. Let's see what they get on this right-hand side. They still need some synergies, and they need to also... I like a good Kel'Thuzad game. And a Nazeebo? This is why we watch Division D, everybody. Bahamut, my man, how are you doing? I'm doing good. How are you doing, Sneaky? Thanks for coming by. I hope you're having a great night. We do have a Nubarak, Kael'thas, Rexar, and Malfurion on the left-hand side. What do we round out this draft with? A little more damage, maybe something like a Hanzo. We could be seeing a little bit range poke with that. I like, Tychus, though, it makes sense. I mean, if you want to shred the Joanna, you want to shred that Leoric, go for it. But I'm a little worried about the damage. Tychus will have to step forward, and Kael'Thuzad really, really enjoys any hero that steps forward. As well as Nazeebo enjoys that as well. So I kind of like this draft for FF and the Pancakes overall. if I had to say like one of these teams I think is more dominant draft-wise than the other, I think it's the members of FF and the Pancakes. I was a little worried about their wave clear with the initial Kel'Thuzad, but then that Nazeebo being picked up as well within the rotations has great wave clear, has good poke, has good scaling, and that's the big thing too, is Tomb of the Spider Queen is a very long map, so you can expect it to be going into that 20 talent tier range. That's why we often do see Nazeebo on a map like this, because it goes that long and you can stack up the Vile Infection, get your 175 stacks, and get that huge heroic poison damage buff with the 20 talent tier upgrade. Pretty good, man. Are you going to be casting the Epic Cup games? We miss you. It's why I love watching all levels of play. Varieties, spice is fun. I agree. I'd love to watch your POV of our games. Oh, am I doing any of the Epic Cup games? They're all on the weekend, and I'm doing all the S Division games, so I don't know if I'm going to be doing any sort of casting this weekend. If I do it, it's going to be super last minute, to be honest. Also, it's on the 13th, which is when my friend's supposed to come up and visit after I play D&D all morning. So, like, I usually take weekends off for being able to hang out with people, because I sit on my computer for 18 hours a day, roughly, Monday through Friday. Well, less on Friday because I don't have to, I'm not casting. Either way, let's go ahead and actually get into our game here. On the left-hand side, we got the members of Zul'jin Distillery. We've got Cowboy Kyle on the Rexar. DeWitt will be on the Kael'thas. Ankle Shot's going to be on the Anubarak. Letastar is going to be on the Malfurion. And Be Fresh, I believe, is going to be on the Tychus. On the right-hand side, we have got the members of FF and the Pancakes. Mr. Sui is going to be on the Leoric. I'm probably have that wrong. XYXGY. Ziggy? Is that plausible? We're gonna go with Ziggy on the Decker Kane. Stampy is going to be on the Nazeebo. Jaeger will be on the Joanna, and Courtney. See, why can't everyone just be like Courtney? Just get a simple, easy name on the Kel'Thuzad. Let's actually check our level 1 talent tiers here. We actually have... we don't have spiders or anything. We have, what is it? I'm trying to remember off the... Things from the Deep? Yeah, or Thing from the Deep. Interesting. That extra range. Oh my god, this dive onto Courtney right now, taking a lot of damage, is going to be able to back right out of there. They do have 2 of the Master of the Cold Dark stacks out of the 30. Once they get that 15, they're going to have their Glacial Spike, and once they have that 30, they get the 75% spell power buff. That is 75% spell power. That is a whole lot of damage you're about to be putting out, so we'll see if that's going to be plausible for them. We also do have this... Kael'thas going into the Mana Addict at level 1. And are on a rotation-heavy base map. This is a really good pickup for him. He's going to be able to get those regeneration globes early. He'll also be able to build his mana, and then he'll also be able to have a little bit of shielding for the potential blow-up from the Kel'Thuzad or any sort of lockdown, then follow-up damage coming in. I've seen it in games where literally it's used. I've seen like a Judgment Teriel, and they just try and Judgment the Kael'thas all the time, and they just pop their 1 key when they have the Mana Addict, and they're fine. Jaeger may not be fine as, oh my god, this Anubarak diving so hard onto them, but the healing from... Decker Kane is so... I tried to pronounce it again. I was like, nah, it's not happening. But the healing from Decker Kane was just so good in that moment. The Epic Cup was already done for the US. What? I'd watch you watching a replay. Zul'jin Distillery sounds interesting. It is. What's up, Ghost Bear? I thought the Epic Cup was the 7th and the 13th. That's what I remember them telling me. Is that there was 2 days. But they were both weekend days. And next weekend I'm doing S Division Saturday and Sunday from like 10 a.m. till like 4 p.m. So that's going to be 2 long days. 2 very, very long mornings. Whew. But if you have the replays, I cast replays. Definitely, you can definitely get in the Discord and find a channel for that. But let's actually jump into our match a little bit further here, because we do have this taking place, and the rotations are continuing here. Kel'Thuzad is going to be stacking quite quickly with the Master of the Cold Dark, already at 10 stacks, 11 right now. The other thing to note right now, on top of all of this, wow, that's going to be the dive into the backline from Anubarak. That's going to be Jaeger taking quite a bit themselves. They pop the Iron Skin, and Anubarak trying to body block, but doesn't get in the position just yet, and they're able to walk right out of there. The one thing I want to note is, I played with Dunkstick a long time ago, and he was just telling me his opinions on Nazeebo. And he said something that I think was really important, because a lot of Nazeebo players will say, as long as you're stacking this many stacks per minute, you'll be good. He actually told me, he's like, don't go from that rule, go by the rule of 10 stacks per level. So if you're 6, you should have 60. and so forth. And that way, by the time you're at level 200, you're at level 20, you have 200. There we go. And that way you're going to be over your stacks, and it also gives you a little bit of a buffer room within your own kind of total that you're going for. And then by the time you're at 20, you have a little extra over that 175, and you just start out with a decent amount of damage. So it's just little things like that. And I like that we can currently see the pacing right now. 66 stacks, almost halfway through the level. It's just really, really good rotations from the Nazeebo. It's just something to highlight because I think a lot of players, even myself, struggle with how to get those stacks and how to continue to make sure that you're stacking that up as the game progresses, because that Nazeebo needs to focus, because that is your late game. That is exactly what you want, and I see why they went for Thing of the Deep, to be able to get this range and throw these abilities out further in the lane so they don't get caught out by the Nubrak or rooted or gravity lapsed by the Kael'thas. So overall, just really strong decisions being made from both these teams. Leoric is going to be able to rotate out of the lane, but this is going to be able to give them the moment to turn in 20 of these gems, which will put them one away. They might have actually... Did Leoric? No, someone else got the turn in time. I was just like, wait, something's wrong right here, as they are going to be able to dive a little bit further onto Stampy. Oh, just able to get right out of there. They drop a few gems right there. This is going to be Web Weavers descending. And now... I'm waiting to see if Leoric got picked off right there, because I was like, you're getting a little bit low there, but they had the Wraith Walk. They're absolutely fine. 7-7 in levels. We'll rotate through some of the other numbers here in just a second. We'll get a peek at what these heroes picked up. Really interesting build from this Nazeebo. Blood Ritual at level 4, and we're going to be having Dead Rush from the zombies at level 7. The Uproot and Chase. I like it. That knockback grenade into the roots from lead, that is just so good. Oh, and then they get the pick from the Nexus forces because they're a little too OP. 8 to 8 levels. Let's actually look at some of the other numbers that we're going to be getting here in just a second, as well as what the push pressure looks like coming into the enemy team, or at least onto the red side. As Angle Shot dives forward, that will be the zombies coming out. They uproot, and now they're going to be chasing. Peeking into this bottom lane right now, we are going to be having Leoric doing a decent job of clearing this. They also will get some help from Joanna. Top lane fort, though, went down. That's a huge win from a first Web Weaver push in favor for the members of Zul'jin Distillery. That is a massive pickup, because that means you have periodic catapult pressure in that lane every third wave, and you get that passive experience gain. It means you're going to have a little bit more experience coming in. You're going to be able to hit that 10 a little bit faster, and you can then pressure into the enemy team a little bit easier. But the big thing to watch here are turn-ins. 52 gems currently sit on the side of FF and the Pancakes. We're just going to go with Leoric, I think it's Mr. Sweet, but Leoric is going to be able to get quite a few turn-in. I think there might have been a turn-in happening right above us, so that will be the Red Web Weavers descending. Can they get the same value on the side of FF and the Pancakes as Zul'jin Distillery got? That's my question right now, because if they end up just kind of mooting this, like if they just delete the push before it really hits the gate, then this is a rough spot, and this might be a rough game. We'll see, though. Because Nazeebo has that extra range. They have some decent... Oh, my God. The chains coming out from Courtney. So very good. As Joanna will be grouping them together. Nice zombie wall. Splits the team. That's going to be Letastars taking quite a bit of damage. That will be the Shadow Fissure not getting the kill, but they still get the kill regardless, as that will be the chains coming out. That's what I was saying. That little bit of 10 talent tier advantage can give you so much value, but it actually ended up coming first in favor for the members of FF and the Pancakes, and they were able to take that during that fight. Yo, Gaius, how you doing? Sorry I haven't been reading chat. This battle is just, oh my god. Spreading the chain bomb, hello? Jaeger's so very low, they don't have another Iron Skin, but they're staying alive just fine. And look at these zombies taking out the well. This is extremely important for a solo lane, top lane, any lane situation. Lane sustain is so powerful, and being able to remove that, pff, great. Just great. It's a great time for you. Meanwhile, in mid, this is all stacked out. Nah, man, it was on the 7th. I'm on Ice Cream Truck. Huh. I swore someone asked me to cast on... Maybe it was a different tournament. Maybe there's one on the 7th, one on the 13th. I hope you're having a wonderful day and an even better stream. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming by. I really... Like, all of you people here make this stream so great. So thank you. And I'm having a pretty good day. I had one of those days where it felt like the wrong day, but it was actually, like, the day before. So now I'm like, tomorrow's Wednesday. We're already halfway through the week. We did it. We almost did it. But we have a fight actually breaking out a little bit. Oh, nice Shadow Fissure coming out. That's going to be not a kill, but they're going to get some decent damage. That will also be the Blessed Shield coming out from the Joanna. They're chasing into this. The Phoenix comes out as well. Chains and combos coming out from this Kael'thas, who, by the way, did finish their stacking and has that 75% increased spell power. Also to note, 120 stacks on the Vile Infection for the Nazebo. Watch this be one of those games, because this used to happen to me all the time in Hero League, in Silver, where people would take Nazebo and they stack really, really good, and then they just take the upgrade for Gargantuan, and then I literally want to put my head through the monitor. Like, there was one time when, like, I was, like, in the same room as one of my friends, and he just heard me, like, audibly just, like, he could hear me groaning through his own headphones of just how, like, upset I was at the fact that they didn't take the Vile Infection at level 20. They took the Gargantuan upgrade, and I was just like, the levels of disappointment he heard. Either way, turn-in is going to be coming in favor for the members of Zul'jin Distillery, as they also will be going ahead and dropping the Commandeer Odin. Zombie Wall going to be coming out from the Sazebos. The Web Wrap did connect onto the Joanna, locking them down for a second, but look at all this damage and this huge Lornado pulling them in. The Shadow Fissure set them up, but then I gotta say, Decker Kane right there with the Lornado, so on point. And Deckard Kane getting the lockdown. Nazebo with the final blow onto the Anub'arak as well. During that mid lane push, they end up losing a couple members. Now here's the thing though, they're trading out. I would say that bottom lane is going to be pushed out quite a bit. I don't think they'll lose their fort. It's just going to be super low, and top lane stacked up quite nicely. They might lose their front gate, but Nazebo's going to be doing some quick work of this wave right now. But we are going to be sitting, I think, pretty close to turn-in. Yeah. The members of FF and the Pancakes have a turn-in after this, so if they can either find a pick or go straight into a turn-in, that will be huge for them. Well, actually, not directly, because you want to make sure that these waves are going to get pushed out, also give some time for your Nazebo to stack up further, but I just got to highlight this, because a good Nazebo stacking, much like a good Kel'Thuzad stacking, or even a Kael'thas stacking their Globe Quest, is something to highlight and something to note that you can take into your own games, because you want to be able to do... These are really, really big things to be able to hit this early. Like 148 stacks, that's huge. Web Rep went onto the Kael'Thuzad. Shadow Fissure connected beforehand. This is going to be the Boars coming out from the Rexar, as well as Misha's going to be diving forward onto Courtney. They get the kill onto Kael'Thuzad. I don't think the Phylactery stacks were done yet, so he's not going to be able to buy back just yet. But that Entomb set up that Anub'arak to get the pick onto the Joanna right there. So many massive gems dropped in against the members of FF and the Pancakes. Zul'jin Distillery are just... I'm sure they're just dancing in their chairs right now, as they just got two massive picks for their team. And they took away, I wouldn't say... I would say maybe like 40 gems. I think Leorc might have picked up a few, but I feel like between Kael'Thuzad and Joanna, they had like some 40 gems. So that was a huge, huge pickup. I'm uber excited for the Nexus Gaming Series. My buddy is playing for Tickle Me Tassadar. Oh, wonderful! I know BM said that I need to pick up their game, and I like to cast Tickle Me Tassadar. They're a really good team, and they're fun to cast. Which is actually like a lot of John Knight. What's up? How you doing? Thanks for coming by, bud. Which is just something I consider, like, when I actually cast teams. Like, I've had teams who just, like, sit there and BM the other team, and I'm just like, sorry, like, I don't really want to cast you anymore. Like, if you're gonna sit there and B-step and spray and you do all this stuff, like, yeah, I get that you're having fun with it, but, like, I don't care for it. Like, you don't need to do that stuff. But Courtney taking a lot of damage here is gonna be surviving for now. Will be going down in the end. Kael'Thuzad out of that one. Joanna gonna be in that web wrap. That will be the Lornado coming out from the Decker Kane, trying to save some, but this is going to be Joanna out of the web wrap now, and they get the stasis onto the... No way, that root just oh. I was just like, the root catching, I think, Misha right there was huge, but then they still have the burrow charge forward from the Anub'arak and getting the kill. Meanwhile, though, Web Weavers did descend, and they are going to be able to get a top lane fort in their favor. Mid lane might go down. Misha and Rexar might be able to clear this out. The rest of the team is going to be rotating down here. There isn't a whole lot of health on this, and I think with the wave that they got, they're not going to be able to save this. I mean, the two front spiders should be already taking this themselves. The main spider doesn't even really matter. I think you even saw them. They backed off for a second. Oh! 23 health? Okay. I mean, you can Shadow Fissure that if you really want it. It's a 15-second cooldown? 16-second cooldown. Jeez. Wait, you casted them already? No. I've casted them in the past. Today is the first day of Nexus Gaming Series cast that I've done. Where's the video for a Tickle Me Tassadar game? It might be on my YouTube, but I'm talking like last season. You might have to look into like last season of Nexus Gaming Series. I might have been a little unclear with what I had said, because I think Tickle Me Tassadar might have played. I think they play tomorrow. I can't remember. I swear I just saw their team name somewhere. We'll look later. This mid lane is just gonna be so frustrating on the side of FF and the Pancakes. Like I'd just be so frustrated with just like, look at it. It's got like no health. Like just go and hit it with a Shadow Fissure. But at the same time, does Shadow Fissure do damage to buildings? Damage to enemy heroes in its area. I wonder if it doesn't do damage to buildings. Burrow Charge went forward. 17 to 15. They need a sliver of experience here on the side of FF and the Pancakes, and they notice they're chasing in. They actually pop quite a few things. Boars are out as well. That's going to be the ice block on Stampy. Are they going to be able to get through? That will be the Lornado also to save them. Jaeger now stepping forward. That will be the Entomb blocking a couple members from getting through sort of the gate. I think they might have been trying to lock one between the tower and the gate right there, but they just didn't connect. And now, Web Weavers are descending. They've managed to keep everyone up and alive. This will be Shadow Fissure coming out in this bottom lane right now. DeWitt and friends. DeWitt is actually really far forward for a Kael'thas, and that's going to be the... You can see that the Mana Shield is going to be popped, and DeWitt is going to get saved by their Malfurion, and now they're turning this around. Courtney's so very low and ends up going down to the Kael'thas Chain Bomb, I do believe, and that's also going to be Decker Kane doing their best to lock down quite a few and catches almost the entire team right there with that Scroll of Identify, but not going to be able to have any sort of massive follow-up damage, unfortunately, because the Kael'thuzad is dead. And now, top lane keep goes down, mid lane keep is, I believe, gone from this push as well, and they save their bottom. For now, potentially, because seems like they're waning. They want to come into this bottom lane and take down the keep. They're going to throw the Phoenix forward, which forces a couple members away. They've got a wave coming in here as well, and Lornado just to push them back further. They don't have any sort of Mornado at 20, which would have given them massive cooldowns. They would have probably had that off cooldown. They could have thrown out a second on top of it realistically, but that's 3 keeps down. Kael'thuzad back up. Oof. Oh, okay, because they just formed. Tickle Me Tassadar just formed? There was a Tickle Me Tassadar in the past, that's why. Oh, sorry, I missed that. This version that formed this year. And no, Shadow Fissure does not do damage to buildings or minions or monsters. Okay, thank you so much, Gaius. I wasn't sure, like, I was like, I feel like they would have done it if it did, because it's a 16-second cooldown, like. But no. Ooh, this boss play. Did they take the bait? They need 6 gems, which is 2 rotations. They can't see where the enemy team is, and they want to, I guess, step forward onto this. Oh my, this is just such a tense moment because there's a big deficit between levels and also kills. They also need to watch their bottom lane. If they delay this out on the left-hand side and just wait for minions through bottom to end, that is absolutely a way to end. 200 stacks on Voodoo Ritual right now. 200 stacks. If they can hit 20, this will be huge, but if they can hit 20 is the big thing. They're going to take this engagement around the boss. This is really, really risky, but the boss is super low. They're going to try and step in. That's going to be the web wrap onto the Joanna. That's Leoric stepping forward and trying to live on this point. They're going to just get put... Oh my god. No, they don't end up getting it right now. And that will be boss picked up in favor for the members of Zul'jin Distillery as they get the kill onto Leoric. They get the kill onto Joanna. Courtney in a bad spot. They get one root, but Kael'thuzad goes down as well. And with boss in tow, they're going to be moving through the top lane. Kael'thuzad buys back with the phylactery stacks. That is going to be one ice block for Stampy, but they get stomped on by the Nexus forces, and they're going to be going down as they're doing their best to defend this. That's going to be a nice big blow up coming out onto Angleshot, who doesn't go down. 20-some health keeps them alive, and now Courtney and Decker K need to back up. They're going to try and get another combo here, just get some good damage out. It goes down. That's a huge pickoff. That's a lot of good damage, but now they have to worry about this boss on the core. Shadow Fissure forces a little bit off, but it looks like the Lornado and such should not be enough, and boss will be taking down the core. This will be game number 1 going over to the members of Zul'jin Distillery. GG. Well played. Yo, Ripper, how's it going? Thanks for coming by, bud. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Whew. Clean plays from Zul'jin Distillery, I agree. Oh, that's good. Whew. Rambo Kale activated. Oh, let's just stats one more time. Ugh. But seriously, it was a really, really good game one. That was a blast. I'm excited for our next match. Or our next game here. Let me update the team scores. And let me get a message out and see what map we're going to be going to. All the way at the bottom. There we go. Alrighty. Thank you all so much for joining this evening. I very much do appreciate everyone hanging out. If you are enjoying the stream and you haven't followed just yet, please go ahead and do so. I do a lot of casting on this channel, typically Monday through Thursday. Now that the Nexus Gaming Series is back, I will probably be doing a ton more because, well, there's a lot of games. There's a lot of games. On the note of games, there are some nights when the casting just doesn't work out with things lining up. So if you are curious or you want to have your game casted, whether it's a competitive game or even just a Hero League or a Storm League or an unranked game, you can join my Discord server and you can pop it in the Cast My Replay channel, and I will throw it in there. And I'll probably ping you beforehand as well, so that way you know that I'll be casting your game. Sorry, I'm trying to find a player. I'm aimlessly scrolling. They want first pick, but... Alright, sorry, I was just, aimlessly scrolling, looking for a player that I just, wasn't actually registering with their name or who they were. But yeah, please go ahead and join the Discord. If you want to find a link for that, you can find a link in the panels below, or you can hit !Discord and it will give you a link for that. I also have a command for YouTube and Twitter. And then we have a bunch of other fun commands in there that Kaleo has made. Alright, we're just waiting to find out what map they want to select because team's got to figure it out. Right? Oh, no, I messaged the right person. We'll find out in a second. How's everybody doing tonight? Sorry, my friend was making jokes about downloading RAM. And I was just like, wait, because he was just he was showing something. I was like, wait, are you? How did you? No, he didn't. Oh, he's just talking about upgrades for their PCs because they're doing alrighty. So you mentioned that English is your second language. What is your first? No, English is my first language. I was taught English by immigrants who English was their fourth language or something. No, I'm English is my first language. I probably don't speak it like it is. But I've studied Spanish, French, a little bit of Romanian, which I should know more of, honestly, but it's just not something I ever... I studied a lot of French and Spanish because I had in school. Romanian I've had to do on my own, which is not super motivating, because then I can't be casting. All right, cool. We have a lobby, finally. I was just like, what's the map? All right, let me get this one going. Observer, set to ref. Oop. Team... They want... Yes. Okay. So team 2. And I think I can get everybody in here because I think they all use the same portrait. I can't remember. We'll see. Oh, they do. They do. One of them uses all Zool. English was my second. What was your first, Kaleo? Was it French? Wait, you're not French Canadian, are you? I'm trying to picture Kaleo speaking French, and it's very exotic in my head, and I don't know why. Let me swap these teams around. Okay, cool. I updated the team scores as well. I was like, did I not do that in time? Now I need French lessons from Kaleo if that's the case. I hate having delays on stream and trying to talk to chat. I'm French. Really? Wow, you have like no accent at all. Because I feel like French Canadians have like a little bit of an accent. It's very exotic. There's gonna be, all right, so the next time we play together on comms, I'm gonna bug you about this. Alrighty, let's see. We need one last player, and then we'll be good to go into our next game. Let's give them another Twitch link, and ask the teams if they're ready. Give them a spooky worm. I can't really speak it very well anymore, though. That's understandable. It's a lot like Romanian for me. Like, I can understand it better than I can speak it, because I've been around it forever, and I've listened to it, but I have not, it's not like something I've mainly practiced. I would say I'm better in Spanish just because I'm around it so much. Go and good luck, have fun. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into our next game, everybody. We are going to... I did that very bad. Alrighty, everybody. Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am your caster, Bahamut. On the left-hand side, we have got Zul'jin Distillery up one game in this best-of-3 series, and on the right, it is going to be the members of FF and the Pancakes. Thank you all so much for joining me this evening for these awesome games. On the right, that's gonna be an ETC right away. Sorry, I was just like, I wanted to talk about the game, but then my brain was just like doing this massive like, wait, hold up, bands and maps, and I was just like, oh yeah. So let's talk about that really quickly. The home team this evening is going to be Zul'jin Distillery, as they won the coin flip. They opted for, or excuse me, they lost the coin flip, so that means that FF and the Pancakes had the priority of first pick, first ban, or map priority. They went for first pick. Battlefield of Eternity and Sky Temple were banned out by the members of Zul'jin Distillery, and Alterac Pass and Volskaya Foundry were banned out by FF and the Pancakes. First map was Tomb of the Spider Queen, chosen by Zul'jin Distillery and won by them. FF and the Pancakes, the losing team, had map choice or first pick, first ban choice. They went for first pick, meaning Infernal Shrines is chosen by our friends Zul'jin Distillery as an Orphea is a first pick on the side of FF and the Pancakes. That is a high priority under the Orphea. But I gotta say, on Infernal Shrines, I feel like this is the one map where I've been seeing her quite a lot within a lot of different divisions, and she has a lot of good chase potential, a lot of good engage, a lot of good pressure. The Crushing Jaws have really good setup in some of these very brawly moments around the shrine where you're going to be pulling people together. Also, her maneuverability is something great that she's able to then be in that front line, but get out of that front line situation very quickly as long as she's mechanically able to, well, get that Shadow Waltz value. Joanna on the left-hand side, very, very strong for the rotations as well as the wave clear and shrine clear. We didn't talk about bans, which is going to be the ETC and the Kael'thas on the right-hand side. We saw a lot of great play coming out from Dwight on that Kael'thas in Game 1, so banning it out, I mean, that's some respect right there. And the Zeratul Diablo coming out from the members of Zul'jin Distillery is pretty standard right there, but Leoric and Deckard. High priority under that Leoric this early in this game as well. I could only speak French up until about 4 or 5 years old, but ended up growing up in an English community, so French never really stuck. That's understandable. I think that's a lot. That's like a lot of languages, I would say. Like I have a lot of friends who in high school did like 4 years of Spanish. Like they did Spanish every year because they wanted to do Spanish. I think actually, well, 4 semesters because it wasn't 4 years. It was. I don't think you took a language freshman year of high school. I don't think. Either way, I had some friends who continued into college, and they took college, and they actually, it was, because some colleges have a language requirement, and then they would end up getting like a little bit of a minor, and there's also communities that you can join where you can meet up and like, they would go out and like meet up for drinks or meet up for dinner, but they would only try and talk to each other in Spanish. And so I have a lot of friends who did that, and like that kind of stuck with them. I worked in a lot of food industry places, and I talked in Spanish to a couple people here and there, and that's where I got to practice, so like a little bit of it stuck with me. But we have a draft, and let's not talk about languages anymore, as this is going to be an Anub'arak banned out on the left-hand side, as well as a Stukov. They don't have a main support, so banning that out is very strong. Stukov on this map is a great asset and tool. Raynor, Imperius, really, really good for that left-hand side. Imperius is strong in the solo lane into Leoric. They have their own self-sustain, but Muradin and Maiev on the right. I really like this. There's a lot of good dive, a lot of good maneuverability. Like Muradin, Maiev, and Orphea all have great maneuverability, as well as Leoric is on top of that. Decker Kane's the only one that really needs to worry. That hobbled old man needs to get out of some of those sketchy situations, but that is... I really, really like that setup so far. What do they round this draft out with? They need a main support. Alex Strauss is not a bad idea. She's strong on this map. But it's going to be Anduin. God, is that a shit-eating grin. What language is draft? Draft is in English. What's up, Kymo Tripson? How you doing, bud? Thanks for coming by. Does my draft sound different to people? Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at something over here. Oh, did we catch something? Dracker Li Ming, Muradin, Cyber Kael'thas. Sorry, someone like did the skin ban thing, and I was like, wait, did we miss a skin? Because usually I send a message to people. And I'm like, hey, that skin's banned. Change that, Jack. All right, cool. Sorry, we just gotta chug water before we get in this game, because no lie, these teams are insane when they play back and forth. You were talking about Spanish. Oh, got you. I just enjoy just talking about that random stuff. Special Kid Miles, thanks for coming by. How you doing? Also, thank you so much for the follow, as we're gonna go ahead and get right into this cast. Thank you for that support, my friend. On the left-hand side, we got the members of Zul'jin Distillery up one game in this best-of-3 series. Cowboy Kyle will be on the Imperius. B-Fresh is going to be on the Raynor. DeWitt will be on the Jaina. Letastar is going to be on the Anduin, and Ankle Shot rounds out the team on the Joanna. On the right-hand side, we've got the members of FF and the Pancakes down one in our best-of-3, trying to take us to game number 3. Muradin is going to be on, Muradin will be played by Jaeger. Stampy will be on the Maiev. Ziggy, I'm still guessing, is on the Decker Kane. Courtney will be on the Orphea, and Mr. Sui is going to be on the Leoric. Let's go ahead and check this. Oh man, I will try and read that after this game. I will do my best to try and read that after this game, because I think my French is still okay. Like, I can... in my head, it makes sense. Either way, I have to stare at that for a couple seconds and then try, but we'll make that attempt. Also, Stab Face! Thank you for the follow as well. It's a very good name. Much like Laughing Underwater. That one always gets me. This is going to be rotations between these lanes for these members. And the one thing to note here is going to be the Jaina, who needs to stack up on the Fingers of Frost at level 1 to get the 10% spell power, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Well, Frostbite spell power. And then you also get the Regen Globe buff on top of all that. Looks like it's pretty much standard throughout everyone else. The only thing that's kinda not real, like I started saying it, but I was like Perfect Storm, I feel like a lot of people take, but Third Wind, like I myself, when I play Muradin, I like to have this. It's just, I like having this as a band-aid because I'm not the best tank player, but, you know, with that I can push my face into the enemy team a little bit harder. No French, only Spanish. Da. That's none of them. Let's see, 3-3 in levels, and we're going to be rotating into this bottom lane right now, as this is going to be Stampy trying to make a defense with this really, really early camp picked up in favor for Zul'jin Distillery, as they're going to take down one of the towers. Now, the first Punisher is going to be in top. We can actually see that on our minimap, that it's going to be focused up here. So realistically, having some bottom lane pressure isn't going to be the biggest thing in the world, but it is still at least opening it up, giving yourself a little experience, and making it a little more difficult for the enemy team. But Root goes out onto one. This is going to be Anduin trying to make their way out of here. They do have the leap of faith if they do need to pull someone out of the sticky situation. And you can see right there that they were keeping Ankle Shot within the range. You can see definitely they were playing that Anduin to keep the friendly member alive. I moved some stuff around in my stream deck, and I almost hit my sound bits every single time I go to do all my little controllers that pull away and put stats up and stuff like that. And I was like, oh no, cool, because we don't need to play random sound bits in the middle of these games. 4-5 in levels, 0-0 in kills, and we are getting set up for our first Punisher of the game. No camp rotation just yet on either side of the map. Let's get some vision for the members of the blue team, see how they're going to be setting up for this first objective. Seems like they're just playing kind of in the mid of their lanes. not really going out too far. Jaina is going to go ahead and rotate over to the left-hand side and just grab... Nope, not even going to grab that camp. But we do have the majority of the enemy team sitting in this top lane. Going to be clearing this out, pushing this up. No camp priority for them either, as now they're going to be... Sorry, I just want there we go. Let's see what they're able to do, though, with this top lane Punisher. First one of the game. Oops. How do they go in for this? Ankle shot stepping forward into the back line. That's going to be Jaeger diving into the back as well. So these two tanks are going to be working their way. That's going to be Umbral Bind coming out. DeWitt taking a lot of damage. This Murden is something that you need to fear a little bit, but now they're going to be saying, I need to fear this Imperius as they go ahead and get the Dwarf House right out of there. Stampy doing as much as they can with these Fan of Knives. And now I don't think getting as many resets as they're looking for, but that will be one lockdown coming in from Decker Kane. They're going to get the pull into Joanna. I don't think Ankle Shot has anything else to live with. That is going to be the Spirit of Vengeance, but not going to be triggered. Jaeger stepping very far forward, goes down. They get the trade. Joanna for the Murden. 1-to-1 in kills. Can Cowboy Kyle make it out alive? It seems like that will be the case, and that's the Anduin making it out just fine as well. 6.5 to 6.5, 1-to-1, and we kind of reset as this will be halfway, just about halfway through in favor for the members of FF and the Pancakes. Now, just a reminder, this is the map choice of Zul'jin Distillery, and so far FF and the Pancakes, they're doing pretty good. If I do say so myself, I think they've got a strong start here. If they can hold this lead, this slight lead, I think it will be really, really unfolding in their favor as the game does progress, because they've got a very strong draft for dive and engage, disengage, as well as just overall chase and kill potential here, as Lettistar is taking so much damage with no mana, able to make it out, and Murden ends up going down. They end up getting the reverse kill, and that's huge for them. Cowboy Kyle doesn't step forward, doesn't get locked down by Decker Kane either, and they the Celestial Charge onto one. Wraithwalk right out of there, Wraithwalk right out of there as this Leoric is so very low, but the Spectral Leech is getting them so much value, and Cowboy Kyle steps so far forward for that, so they'll be going down. Imperius is actually going to be losing their crown in the top first screen. They get ragdolled across the screen. That is like my favorite thing to make sure that I have at max is just like physics, and I think one of them is just like, the description is like the ragdolling of the models, and I was just like, yes, like that needs to be maximum always. As we do have 7-to-7s, Imperius down, Leoric is down, but they can cheat death and come back to the battlefield. It's close. Stampy wants to get these last few, and now we do have Leoric back in, and they're going to get some really good clear. That was the Spirit of Vengeance to confirm it, and they end up getting the Mortar Punisher here. They are pretty far out here. If they actually don't get the bait over the wall, this will be huge in favor for the members of... Oh, they end up getting it. The Umbral Bind pulls them back in. The Leap of Faith saves one, but Joanna will be going down. To be honest, out of all of them, Be Fresh is probably better to have alive because they're going to be able to burn down the Immortal a little bit faster than a Joanna. They don't have any sort of Exterminator, but they still have that Pepper, and they can put in some decent damage. Jump once again onto Imperius, and they have the Umbral Bind to follow up. Chomp goes out as well. Cowboy Kyle with the Celestial Charge saves themselves. Whew. Punisher goes down. Do they take out the well? It's not the case. This is something important for your games. When you siege in like this, make sure you're taking out the well. The Punisher will focus, depending on how the bait goes over, the Punisher will either focus the well or the fort on how the people, like usually enemy members want to play down here and pull the bait down here, so it goes straight for the fort, not the well, so you have to sustain during this entire defense and beyond that. And if you're the enemy team pushing in, you want to look at what your Punisher's doing and then clear as much as possible. So if it's sieging into the tower or into the fort, I understand trying to go for the fort, but taking out that well, taking out that lane sustain is huge for a team. It really denies a lot of these engagements that get prolonged in the lane, as well as some of these future shrines that get prolonged out in the lane. They can just tap their well and re-engage into the fight. But we're approaching those 10s very, very quickly, and that's going to be in favor for FF and the Pancakes. This is very much the same as last game when it comes to at least experience. We're trailing behind a little bit on the side of Zul'jin Distillery, but it doesn't seem like that's really hindering any sort of their play. They're not playing safer, slower. They're just saying, you know what, you got 10s first, we'll be able to pick that up fairly soon. Cowboy Kyle will back off in top lane a little bit. I don't think they have to give over this fort. Yeah, they're going to end up tanking most of that from the minion wave. As this is going to be the camp in the bottom lane stolen away. Jaeger just anchoring for the friendly team. Chastise goes out and connects. They won't be able to confirm a kill on top of it, but that 10 talent tier is so very, very close. It's just right about there, and they'll grab it. With that, we're going to see, do we have anything out of the ordinary? Do we get Wrath of Angiris? These? I want to see somebody get pulled out, like, just the power bomb. So very good. We have Holy Word Salvation for the Anduin, so not going to be going for any sort of light bomb. We also do have the Blessed Shield from the Joanna and the Ring of Frost from the Jaina. Murder with that Avatar. We do have the angelic armaments for Imperius, which is just going to be extra good damage, and as well as some good shielding in some of these fights. Leoric does have to back off right there for a second. Raynor holding. I would expect this to be Hyperion. It's a very good siege tool. It's very good for disengage and engage onto these points. Raynor's Raider does get some value as it can be getting into that backline. Angelic Armaments goes out right there. Cowboy Kyle's trying to step forward in this. That was the Entomb, but realistically, you're kind of stuck in here with me. Wait, Cowboy Kyle. You had that. Didn't go for it. Okay. We do have our next shrine popping up, though. Second one of the game will be in the mid lane. Both of these lanes are pretty, or I guess these front gates are pretty well defended. That's pretty much like the only really major. There's a little bit on these two towers, but regardless, we do have the Bruiser camp rotation from both these teams. Going to be trying to get some top lane pressure. Jane is still in bottom lane, soaking up that experience, making sure the friendly team doesn't fall behind. And they still have a bit of a gap in favor for the members of FF and the Pancakes, but Zul'jin Distillery not too far behind. Yo, Big Scary Duck, thank you so much for the 6 months. Cacao. Hope you've been good, friend. Thank you so much. I have been wonderful, and I hope you've been having a great one as well, Big Scary. Pancakes win. They have an Orphea. There you go. Big Scary's calling it. Let's see if that's going to be the truth, as we are going to be seeing our second Punisher of the game. Ring of Frost goes out, connects onto 3. Jaina dumping the damage, and that's going to be 1 kill right there. That's going to be a double kill right afterwards. 3 members going down as Stampy had the Warden's Cage in the backline there, but it just didn't get the value. Muradin with this Avatar form is getting onto the Johanna, but unfortunately, that's really all they get, just half of the Johanna health, and that's a huge pickup in favor for the members of Zul'jin Distillery. Ouch. That's a hard loss right there. They are going to be having their Orphea, Decker, Kane coming back. Top lane is going to be going over in their favor as well. Imperius will rotate out for that. They won't be able to pick up the Punisher right here, so they're just going to have to back off and go for the defense. I like this play right now. Sitting behind your gate, making sure that you're ready to go. The big thing is you want to have it baited over to this top area so you're going to be able to save your well. That way you have the tower and the fort doing as much damage as possible. Spirit of Vengeance goes over. Vault of the Warden. Really, really, really good combo right there to make sure they don't get stunned out. They do have that on cooldown, but it's not the longest cooldown in the world. Let's actually get the vision for these members just to see how everything's sieging in against them. So you can see what their vision looks like as they have to defend this. And same thing on the opposing side. Everyone can kind of see each other, as that's going to be a lot of good damage going out. Leoric goes down. Blessed Shield had some really good setup and lockdown right there. Eternal Feast goes out from Orphea, and it triggers a couple times, but they're not able to get the pick off, and that is going to be Fort going down with the Punisher. Meanwhile, in top lane, Cowboy Kyle's been clearing this out, and they didn't have that Imperius for the majority of that fight, and they know that. They can see the Imperius in the top lane. So now they're going to be stepping forward and trying to get the chase onto this, but they make a clean disengage. They say, it ain't happening. You're not going to get any picks. Oh, Muradin really wants this. That's going to be jumping forward onto Raynor's. That's going to be the Entomb as well from Leoric, but the Holy Word Salvation goes out as the Ring of Frost connects as well. That's going to be Maiev going down. Leoric trying to get the mop right out of there, and Jaeger's so very low as well. Dwarf Toss with some 20 health. Chastise goes out. Ankle Shot just needs 1 shield glare, and it's not enough as they connect onto that, as well as getting the third wind proccing. Imperius coming down from the top lane. That's a very low Johanna as they get the Stormbolt onto 1. The Jaina is going to be dumping the damage onto Courtney. And they disengage from all that. The back and forth is ridiculous between these two teams. Pancakes win because they have pancakes, in my opinion. That's fair, Kaleo. Oh my god, I made delicious pancakes on Sunday. Oh, it was so good. I'm thinking back to them right now. Sorry. I made mac and cheese for dinner tonight. And I had like 1 egg for lunch and like 1 Eggo for breakfast, so I'm still starving. You don't want that no more. 15 to 14 when it comes to levels, 8 to 3 in kills. Zul'jin Distillery putting in work this evening on Infernal Shrines, as well as on Tomb of the Spider Queen. That was a very strong game for them in game 1. But now, look at this collapse onto Cowboy Kyle on top lane. Can they make it out? Celestial Charge. They do have the Angelic Armament, but there's not that much you can do. They are going to try and turn on to Leoric, so they end up getting the counter kill. So at least they're not giving over a ton of experience. But with that, they're going to say, cool, let's trade out towers. And realistically, I think this is more of a win in favor for the members of FF and the Pancakes, because the next Punisher is going to be top lane. And if they can push up this wave and potentially take out a front gate a little bit, that's huge, to be honest. Orphe against Anduin and you don't take Crushing Jaws. They have Maiev. She can move him. Fair. Look at the... Are they just racing this? I'm a little worried about this decision, I'm not gonna lie. Because I think this is a huge win for FF and the Pancakes. Oh, this is a little greedy, though. I have to say, this is a little greedy if they try and go for this. Leoric, I think, is trying to stop the backs, but they might be going down this top lane. They tap well. That's going to be the Wraith walk out, so that's going to be a couple members still being held over in the bottom lane. That was the Decker King Lornado as well, and they just disengaged. They still do not have their 16 talent tier. Mid lane will be able to give that, but that means that they're also going to be denied a little bit of the shrine, and they need this shrine. There's so much going on across the map that they need to deal with here and do at the same time. Can they? They have Maiev, and she can move him in Tomb Silence after 20 if they go into it. That's true. No, she didn't. She got caught in ring. Oh. Either way, let's actually focus in on the fight here as Courtney is going to be getting caught and going down. That's going to be the Crushing Jaws, or excuse me, the Eternal Feast coming out as well. Ring of Frost goes out, doesn't connect. We do have the Leoric coming up into this, and that's still no 16 talent here. I think realistically they had to go for that mid lane clear and just take the slow engage in this. I think they might have rushed it a little bit on the side of FF and the Pancakes, and that means that Zul'jin Distillery kind of have this window to be able to then jump forward and say, hey, this is going to be our start to the Punisher as you are going to be looking for those 16s. And now that they have it, they still need to back off and deal with mid lane as they lost their complete front gate to that to this wave right here, and they've got another catapult coming in on top of it. So Punisher given over. I wonder if this is even top lane, just forfeit. Not sure about that one though. I don't know if I would consider this forfeit. I'm doubting myself in my call, but they will be opening this up a little bit as the Punisher hasn't been picked up just yet. Imperius slowly picking these up. And they're taking their time on purpose with that one because everyone's up. They have the wave pushing forward, so now they say, cool, let's grab this Frozen Punisher, which also, the big one, Frozen Punisher. Hey, Sneaky, welcome back. Can lock down the towers. Now, it's not as long as Syndragosa, but it works in the exact same form. That's going to be the jump onto one. They don't have any... Oh my god, Muradin getting bodied by the John Cena. I need to get a sound bit for that one, for when we do this map. Either way, this is going to be the top lane fort going down. How do you prefer being sent clips, my guy? What do you mean clips? Like clips of my stream? Usually Kaleo posts them in Discord, or yeah, that's about it. Or if you wanna post like a replay file for me to cast, that would be the same thing, just in my Discord. It's the easiest way just to keep it there so it doesn't get lost. But Orphea and Maiev are going to be going down here. The Crushing Jaws coming out, but it doesn't really matter. Well, it matters now that the Holy Word Salvation is over, but this Punisher getting a fort and a keep during its push. Cowboy Kyle moving forward as well. Going to be getting the lockdown onto Mr. Swiv there, but not going to be able to catch him. I love the Hero Storm video for this map. Oh yes, oh yes. Oh wait, hold on, this is going to be the Blessed Shield that went out, but they forced them back. Punisher's so very low at 2%. I doubt that they are able to get the kill, but that's the Entomb coming out from Leoric. They Lornado as well to force them into there, and this is going to be a little bit of shielding on the core going down, but they end up making it out just... Whoa, does Ankle Shot? Yeah, Ankle Shot makes it out just fine as they continue to get good healing out as well. 19 to 17 in levels. Ooh. Just an insane game. I like the... Oh, hold on. This is a big, big dive if they're going to be... Oh, that's the Warden's Cage as well. Crushing Jaws coming out, or the Eternal Feast coming out from the Orphea. They get the kill onto the Rainer. Cowboy Kyle might be the next target here, as that is going to be the Eternal Feast now ending, and they're just making their way back. They're doing their best to just get right out of here. I think they make this disengage fine. Cowboy Kyle trying to turn it around. Courtney taking a lot of damage during all that. They don't get a root. Meanwhile, Muradin finishes out the camp on the right-hand side, so they do have their tank back now, but this is going to be Cowboy Kyle trying to get that last little bit of damage onto the Leoric. The pull from Anduin, the leap of faith, just so good right there. Catapults in this bottom lane. They at least kind of match out, and I don't think they need to worry about that. Meanwhile, though, in bottom lane, Jaina working for that 20, finds it. Oof. I gotta say, this is a pretty tense game. And they have to know this invade is happening, too. I think they might have seen it. And it's the same thing on the opposing side. They know that they're going for this invade, but it doesn't connect in time. That will be the Celestial Charge going out right there. That's going to be Orphea stepping forward. That's going to be a nice entomb onto one of the members. Ankle shot very low. Going to pop the Iron Skin. That will be the Holy Word Salvation. Not getting the help, but they end up moving into it regardless. They knock them out of it with the Lornado. Cowboy Kyle very low. That's the Ring of Frost going out. Connects onto one. Can they get the burst? That's going to be the Orphea with the Crushing Jaws, and that will be Muradin going down. Crushing Jaws, excuse me, the Eternal Feast continuing to go on and on as Cowboy Kyle lives with some 30 health. No, the camp is OP and goes ahead and gets the kill for them. Stasis. They get the double kill. Oh my god, Orphea! Oh, but does Raynor have the pepper for Orphea here? Or, ooh, very good use of the penetrating round to force that but right there. But that's going to be Courtney getting a lot of good healing as they step forward. But the pepper from Raynor, and what ended up getting the kill right there? Was there just a lingering, was there like a dread that I didn't see on the ground? Either way, that was huge. And they almost get the top lane keep during all of that. Shrine activates very soon, and we will be getting into that in just a second. Sneaky, thanks for joining the server. I appreciate that. I hope it gives you all of the roles. Okay, it does. Cool. Sorry. Just want to make sure that we're all set on that, all that kind of stuff. Cool. Cool. 21 and 20 in levels. 4 members down on the left-hand side. Can FF and the Pancakes take us to a game number 3? Let's get some vision just for them. Bottom lane is stacked up quite a bit. Leoric needs to deal with this, but they're not going to. They're going straight up for Punisher. They're saying, you know what, our bottom lane keep doesn't matter. Which, I'm very worried about this call right here, I'm not gonna lie. This is a lot of priority onto this, and now we're gonna be seeing them on the left-hand side trying to make this invade, and they don't have their Raynor just yet. Can they invade onto this? Orphea is now coming. Oh, Vault of the Warden saves one, but look at all this damage going to the Decker Cane. There's no way to save them. Decker Cane goes down as well as Leoric. Orphea now coming into this, and that's the Celestial, the Angelic Armaments getting the good damage out from. Just the Eternal Feast still going, and Anduin is just, oh, whoa, Jaina going across our screen right there as Orphea will be going down as well. Stampy is able to make it out alive with just barely any health, and now Jaeger is so very low as well. Stampy's going to be eating the Hearth. Are they actually able to get the... No, okay, they won't get the interrupt. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Keep is gone. That's consistent catapult pressure, and they're just going straight through top lane. They want to end this on the side of Zul'jin Distillery. 50+ seconds from Muradin. And I'd say 30 seconds on average between all those 3 other players. A little bit lower for that Leoric who's cheating death. Yeah, with that, Zul'jin Distillery, they're going to say, we want this game. Stampy is going to be going down. And with that, the Entomb from Leoric is going to be going out as well, that Buried Alive. But unfortunately, there's enough damage onto this core. The GGs are called, and it's going to be game number 2 over to the members of Zul'jin Distillery. GG, well played. They take the series 2-0. FF is a really powerful combo of Entomb, Feast, Lornado. They just need to capitalize on it. Yeah. They, unfortunately, were not able to... Like, there was one point when the combo hit, but it just didn't... Like, they weren't able to get the value. Bottom lane catapults softened it up for them. Oh, I agree. I mean, bottom lane catapults were OP during that game. Whew. We'll show stats once again really quickly. And also, big shout out to Big Scary Duck. Thank you for your 6 months. I very much appreciate the support, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I will follow you to the end of the world. Subscribed.
KAKOW, 6 months. Hope you have been good friend. Less than 3, less than 3, less than 3.
Thank you so much, Big Scary Duck. I very much appreciate the support. And I've been doing very well. Alrighty, let's see if we can get an interview with one of the players. Yeah, I'll be in a moment. Okay, cool. So we'll just join here. I'll let them know it's lobby 1, and we'll get an interview with Dwit in just a second. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I can exit Hero Storm. Alright, we are going to be joined by Dwit at this time. How you doing? Congratulations on your 2-0 victory.
Thank you. I'm doing real good.
It's that those are some really good games, and so let's actually back up a little bit. Let's talk about Tomb of the Spider Queen. It was the first map, and it was the game. It was the casted game right before this. Were you looking for anything on that map? Was the Kel'Thuzad something you were afraid of? Like, just run me through some of the ideas of why you went to that map, as well as were you afraid of the enemy team with their draft that they had?
It's a map that we like. We've always liked it since season 3, I guess. We like the small, close rotations, quick rotations, quick. Everybody can join a team fight real quick. So we just liked the map. It wasn't really strategic, but
Okay.
I was able to do a little bit of scouting on them. That's why I know they have a guy that mains Zeratul, and I didn't want to deal with that. He can be like an unpredictable force to sway the game. So other than that, I saw where one of them played Kel'Thuzad. I hate him as a hero, but like in coordinated, he's a little bit less annoying because you have a solid healer backing you up.
I gotta say that game one, like the priority in your shot calling in a lot of those fights was really, really well. Like, it was always just like, get the Zul'jin, or not the Zul'jin, get the oh my god, my brain, get the Kel'Thuzad, blow them up, and then take the rest of the fight, because that was pretty much every single fight. It was like, we got the Kel'Thuzad, they have no big burst damage regardless of whatever lockdown they would consistently have on you. It wasn't enough burst from the Zeo because they didn't have that 20 talent tier. So it was really, really good. It was really, really well played on that Tomb of Spider Queen game. And then moving over to Infernal Shrines, there were a couple hiccups back and forth. Was it because of a power spike? Was it a team fight? Can you talk a little bit about those moments when FF and the Pancakes kind of started pressuring Zul'jin Distillery? And how did you kind of come back from either a mental headspace or even just in-game from getting wiped, a couple heroes?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the moment. I think they had a good moment, post 10, before like 16 or something that I don't remember. I don't remember what happened. I have to go back and look at that. But I know we got a little split. I went to clear a wave in the bottom, and they made a good aggressive move top. We had 20 and they had 19, but I was so split that it was a good move. But I told my team to just let them have it, but we kind of got mixed in comms.
Happens.
So my team went in a little bit before I got there. Then I got there and Ring of Frost did pretty good work and we cleaned them up, but we got so low in the process that they were able. Orphea especially took like 3 of us out, I think.
Oh yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, and it was an okay team fight. It's just we overchased a bit. And got Orphea'd.
Well, I mean, to be honest, it was just one of those moments. So like, how do you come back from basically it was like an 0-4 fight? Like, they took 4 of your members and they didn't lose, I think, even 1.
Well, you just read the situation, see when you're gonna be back on the map, and go ahead and plan out where you're gonna go straight from the Hall of Storms, and that's what we did. And we saw we were gonna have at the end there, we saw we were gonna have a 4v4 Orphea and Raynor. We're gonna be bringing up the rear, not in the fight yet. So she was honestly their cog piece, like pretty much the everything that kept their draft together. So taking a 4v4 without her was perfect for us.
It definitely worked
got a
out.
Ring of Frost on like 3 of them, and they just kind of melted in, and we were able to walk on. It
was just such a good ending. It was a very well played. I had an absolute blast with those games. They were so much fun. Before I let you go, any shots that you'd like to give? The floor is all yours.
I'll shout out. I said it in our comms, but Let a Star on Anduin was pretty crazy with those ults, blocking out the Orphea stuff. Had 0 deaths as well, and then Imperius had the most damage on our team that game. So Kyle pretty much killed it. A shout out to Nutcracker. He's our sub / I guess 6th man because he plays about as much as anyone else. But so shout out to him who didn't play today. Shout out to Ripper who helps us out with some strategy stuff pretty often. So I think that's it for me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the interview. Thank you so much for the games, and I'll see you further down the Nexus Gaming Series season.
Oh,
yeah.
Shout out to Bahamut for casting.
Thank you so
much.
Okay,
let me get the pronunciation.
Bahamut?
Bahamut, okay. I feel like I mess it up every time.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Well,
I'm not judging.
Thanks, Bahamut.
You have a great night, and thank you so much for the games.